I had to get a note from a doctor, you know, for stress leave, a doctor's note. My family doctor's been very, very good. And I had to forward that to this person, and she lied and said that I had her support insofar as charging this person went, and seeing that it was dealt with. And now this person knew that I had problems with internal affairs. Okay, went to internal affairs, spoke to the sergeant in question who was handling the case, which they never had in the first place. And the sergeant, who was not a good police officer, who was corrupt, saw a weak spot in all of this and actually slandered me to this woman at NASCO Staffing Solutions for 24 hours, and slandered me throughout the Collingwood Community Center, where I was working as a volunteer at the community breakfast there on Saturdays, and caused people to turn against me and to not listen to anything I had to say about what was happening. In a fit of desperation and being very angered by this, I made harassing calls to, I mean, we all have our limits as to how much we can take. We all have a breaking point. I don't care who you are in life. Nobody is an exception to this rule. And I made harassing calls, and here I do not have a previous criminal record. I am not a habitual criminal or offender. I made harassing phone calls to Renee Haynes at 24 hours, and I was subsequently charged and arrested later on. And I did this with the idea of getting the case into the court, so I could be heard and have a stop put to this sort of police harassment. And it's been quite a go of it. It's been quite a tough road. I mean, I would not advocate to any of you out there to do that, you know. Just up and, oh, well, this woman did it, it worked for her, you know. I would look at other measures and means first before resorting to that. But as the old saying goes, when you're pushed into a corner with your back against the wall, you do what you have to do. And this is what I was forced to do. Now, I'm not a woman with a lot of money. I'm not filthy, dirty rich, okay? I'm not a millionaire, not by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, I just can't go into some high-end lawyer's office and say, here you go, hand him or her a pile of money, clean this up. Okay, get rid of this. I don't have that option. You know what the rules are, people. One set of rules for the poor and another for the rich, and that's the way it goes. So, I subsequently had a visit at my home where I was residing in 2006 on Kingsway by a Vancouver police officer along with a mental health worker, registered psychiatric nurse Adrian Altman. And this officer, in addressing me, asked me if I wanted to talk to the mental health worker. I said no, there was no reason for it, and I tried to explain my side. I should back up here and say that initially when the officer knocked on my door and I answered the door, I was very, very respectful, polite, and spoke to him in a low tone, calm tone of voice like I'm talking now, folks. And the more, when I tried to talk and present my side of the story, he kept on cutting me off. He was very rude. I got annoyed and I asked if he had a warrant for my arrest. And he said no. And I said, well, then would you leave? I don't want you here. I went to close the door, not slam it, and he barricaded my door with his foot. As he was walking away, I called, not yelled, but I called, you go to hell. Now, he initially went to the Crown Council and recommended a warrant for my arrest, which the Crown Council approved of this. And he lies and he denies doing this, but there is proof that shows otherwise. I have it in the form of reports and paperwork. This officer, the good news is suspended pending an investigation, as is one other officer in this case, but there's still a long ways to go yet. We moved from Kingsway, my boyfriend and myself. My boyfriend was a witness to this incident. He was a witness to the fact that I was very polite, very calm with these people, and I'm happy to say that I am doing really well with him. We're both very happy together. financial circumstances